Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're back. I went away. I forgot exactly what I told you before I cut the video, but I went away. I recorded a different video where I installed the drivers for this Wi-Fi dongle. I compiled them from source. I found them on GitHub. I wanted you to go to that video and use it to learn how to compile the drivers for your own Wi-Fi dongle. If you want to have the same dongle that I have, that video I should have a link to where you can buy the same dongle that I have. But if you have a different dongle, that's okay. The instructions in the other video should probably help you. So at this point now, you've gone away to compile the drivers for your Wi-Fi dongle, and you're back. You're ready to continue making your Pi access point. So what we should do is, I'm logged into the Pi right now, and let's use Network Manager to see what's up. Network Manager connection show. We only have Ethernet up right now. We want to connect as a client to your existing router. So remember, we have two radios. One is going to be the internal radio of the Pi, or a dongle if you wanted to buy two dongles. And then the other one is going to be the dongle that we've been talking about. So I mean, I'm saying you can buy two dongles and stick them in the Pi if you want a little bit more range. For me, I just use the internal of the Pi and then the dongle as the external. So the dongle is going to connect nowhere. It's just going to be an access point so that other clients can connect to it. So I'm going to connect as a client specifically using wireless LAN 0 because that's the built-in Ethernet, wireless adapter of the Pi. We can do this in Network Manager. We don't even need a desktop. We'll say sudo network manager device Wi-Fi connect, and then we just have to specify the name of your original, or how about your primary access point. You know, whatever it is, whatever your Wi-Fi credentials are, you got to put that there. I'm not going to show you. I'm going to type this into another window so that you don't have to see the name of my access point. I'm going to go sudo network manager device Wi-Fi connect. I'm going to connect to that, the name of the access point, and then after that, you have to put a couple more things in. So you're going to do the interface name. You should name which radio you want to do the connecting as a client. So I'm going to put WLAN 0 because that's what we just said. IF name WLAN 0 in the other window. And then you want to provide the password for your Wi-Fi access point. So I'm just going to put password here, your password here, and then I'm going to type that for myself up in the other window. Oh, shit. There we go. Okay, I think that's probably all we need right now. I'm just gonna hit enter on my other window. You should hit enter now. It's saying that it does not see the network. We forgot to turn the radio on. The Wi-Fi adapter is off right now, so that's a default thing with the Raspberry Pi. So we'll go into a tool called Raspberry Config. You could use a program called RFKill to activate the radio, but the Raspberry Config is more fun. So what you want to do is, after you say, sudo Raspberry Config, you go into localization options and you select the wireless LAN country. So that's, because different countries have different regulations. They'll restrict like the frequency bands you can use or whatever. I'm not sure about all the countries, but I'm going to find United States in the U's. There's only a few of us, only a few U's. And now the Wi-Fi should actually be on. And then while we're here, this is a pretty good idea. I go to Advanced Options and select Expand File System. Because if you remember, I'm going to do a reboot real fast. Yeah, if you recall, what's going on, man? I want to ping. We wrote a very small image to the card. It was only like 2 gigabytes or something, right? So that means the file system is only 2 gigabytes, but the card is way bigger than that. And I want to be able to take advantage of all the space on the card. So that's why you expand the file system. And Raspberry Pi has like a nice little tool that helps you do that. So it's pinging again. I should be able to get in there. Okay. Going back to my other window real fast. I'm just going to check that the the connection actually worked. So wireless LAN 0. Oh, it didn't even work last time for sure. So we're gonna repeat that command because the Wi-Fi wasn't on before, right? So if you recall, we did sudo network manager device Wi-Fi connect, and then the name of your access point, and then IF name wireless LAN 0, and then the password. I'm going to type that into my other window here, and if we're lucky, it'll connect. Yeah, okay, it seems to have worked. And then sudo connection show. Okay, I'm going to rename the connection real fast, and then I'll show it to you in the main terminal window. So sudo network manager connection edit. Main one, and set the connection ID to, how about just like connect as client, save, quit, show. Okay, so now I think I can show you this. So we'll go sudo network manager command line interface connections show, and you can see that I am now successfully connected as a client to the rest of my network. At this point, I could pull out the I could pull out the Ethernet adapter if I wanted to. But I still don't like doing that because it's pretty easy to lose your connection and screw everything up, and the Ethernet is there to save you. But for now, I have connected as a client on wireless LAN 0. Make sure you have the right one selected. If you did it wrong, you can do sudo network manager connection delete, and then just name the connection. But I think we're fine. So let me just edit the IP address real fast. Edit connect as client. You're probably going to want to do this because remember we talked before about the idea of you having IP addresses that you had to come up with to follow this video. So I'm going to, oh gosh, what's happening? There we go. Let me go to this one. Right, so I'm trying to set up wireless LAN 0, so it's going to be 147 for me. Maybe not the same thing for you. So I'm going to go, let's see, I just edited it. Okay, so I'm going to set IPv4.addresses as that with a 24 block. And yes, I want to set to manual. I want to set the gateway. Basically, this is the same thing that we did with the Ethernet already. Then I'm going to set the DNS. The only difference here between, this connection and the Ethernet connection is I'm just setting a different IP address, but I'm giving it the same gateway and the same DNS servers and everything. So DNS search, home, and I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to quit it. At this point, you could reboot the Pi. Maybe I should do that so I can read my notes a little bit more. Let's reboot the Pi. And let's see if we can connect on the wireless interface. So I think it was 147 I just set up. Let me do a ping at 147 so I'll know if the Wi-Fi comes on. I may have forgotten to tell it to auto connect like I did last time, but I feel like the Wi-Fi does that already. We'll see what happens. I'll just give it like 10 more seconds. Yay, it worked. Okay, so now we're connected. We can connect through the Wi-Fi. Notice how it says, I don't recognize this remote because it's a different IP address, but we're on the Pi. So now you've got two ways to get into your Pi. I'm actually going to revert because I like staying on Ethernet, but just so you know, this is how the Pi will get its internet after you eventually put this repeater somewhere where you can't get Ethernet, like in your garage or on top of a China hutch or whatever. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to install a program called DNS Masq. We need a DHCP server because what's going to happen basically is when we connect it as a client to the primary router, its DHCP server gave us an IP address on the normal subnet. So that's fine. We don't really need that for the primary connection. But when we become an access point with the extra antenna, whoever connects to our Pi as a client is going to need IP addresses. And it's not going to be able to get the IP address. The clients are not going to be able to get the IP address, their IP addresses from the router anymore because they're not even connected to the router. They're connected to the Pi. And there's an isolation because there's two different networks. So that means we need to put a DHCP server on the Pi so the Pi can just decide what IP addresses everybody has on its network. So I think what I'm going to do, since the video is already about 15 minutes long into this particular segment, and I think the whole video is already like over an hour for sure, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to go away and make another video where I just talk about how to install DNS Masq on your Raspberry Pi. So you should go to that other video and then come back when you have a DNS Masq all set up. And then maybe I'll just copy paste the config just so you can see the config that I'm actually using for this particular project, just to make it more clear. This is a sample configuration file for DNS Masq. It's not too bad. That's kind of it. It's kind of all you have to do. So I think I'm just going to install DNS Masq right now for you. What I did a moment ago is I said sudo apt install DNS Masq. So it's already installed for me. And then to give it some configuration, we'll just go into a special directory called etc DNS Masq. And any file you create in this .d directory, and this is kind of typical for programs that recognize a .d drop directory, you can just stick configuration files in there and they'll be read automatically. So this is the configuration I'm going to use for my DHCP server on my Pi. You should probably use something similar, but not exactly the same. Or not necessarily, it doesn't have to be the same, but I'm using my search domain of home. So you don't have to do that because you probably don't even have the home domain unless you want one. And then I'm gonna specify what IP addresses should get assigned to clients that connect to the access point. So then, what's going on? How come I did not specify the adapter and it still worked on my other project? We might have to specify the adapter if this doesn't work. Otherwise, I guess it's fine. By default, nobody's going to be looking at this Pi. I don't know, maybe I should specify the adapter. I'll make a note, or I'll come back in a second. But anyway, so we want to specify an IP address range. If you recall, our IP address range that we chose for the clients of the access point is going to be .5 something, right? So this DHCP server is going to be for the clients. So that means the subnet should match what we've chosen. So all of the ranged, all of the IPs that we give away should start with 192.168.5 and then something. So notice how here I'm just saying 192.168.5.10. So I'm saying that the first IP address that I will give away is a something.10, and the last one that I'll give away is a something.150. I think most people don't go up that high, but I just feel like it. I want to go from 10 to 150, and that gives me a little room to statically assign lower addresses if I really feel like it later, or high addresses if I feel like it later. This subnet right here, that's the same thing as a /24 block. It just means only the last number should be able to change. And then the least time 24 hours, that means if the Pi DHCP server gives an IP address to a client, then that IP address should last for about 24 hours before the Pi has to decide on another IP address, or if it's going to give it a longer lease or something on the same one. It'll just redetermine what's going to happen. Then we'll send a DHCP option. Basically, we're going to tell the clients, hey, here's the IP address of your gateway. So that's called option 3 for DHCP options. So we say 3 comma, and then the DHCP server is going to be .5.1 at the end because that's the number we've designated for wireless LAN 1, the gateway, the wireless dongle that we're setting up. Then we're going to send DNS servers. You need DNS servers so that your clients can actually resolve names to addresses, like yahoo.com or google.com instead of their numbers. So that's going to be option 6, and then you basically just put every DNS server you know about, or you want the clients to know about, separated by commas. Just to point out also, we're not covering IPv6 in this video because we're trying to keep it short, but you probably want to continue eventually and set up IPv6 on your own at some point, but this will totally work without it. So my DNS servers are 1.101, but again, you probably don't have those as DNS servers. Yours are probably just going to be the IP address of your router, or maybe you can put in some public DNS servers like 8.8.8.8. Whatever you do, write it all down there and save it. And before we try to run DNS Masq, let's watch messages and see what's going on. Actually, you know what? Let me just type it, and I won't show you because there's probably sensitive stuff in there. You use a command to watch service logs called journal control. So you'll say sudo journal control -- unit, and then you just name the unit that you're interested in watching. If you press enter right now, you'll see all of the logs, and you'll be able to scroll up and down, hit Q to exit. But if you just want to follow the logs in a live view to see maybe problems as they're occurring, then you'll do a -F for follow. I'm going to do that in my other window right now, just so that I can maybe catch myself if something goes wrong. So I'm going to like copy paste this up here on a terminal. Blup, 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 blup. Okay. So it says, I think it actually just like reset itself once I changed the config file. That's kind of cool. So, but then the next steps you want to do, just to be sure that this service is actually going to run for you, you'll say sudo system control status DNS Masq. And then it says it's enabled on my system. So then I'm going to do sudo system control enable -- now. And that'll just ensure that it's enabled, so it'll start whenever the system boots, and then it'll start it right now also. And every time you change the configuration, you probably want to do something like restart. I'm not sure you need to do this because it looks like it was picking up the config while I was typing it and saving it. So sudo system control enable now, and then restart, and then the DNS server should be running. Let's see, how much time do we have? 7 before I have to cut another scene, or the camera's going to cut me off. So now we're at the point where we have to set up IP forwarding, because what's going to happen is, actually, you know what, let me do a scene cut, because this is going to take more than 7 minutes. We're almost there. We're actually almost finished. Well, not quite. We're getting closer. Okay, I'm going to do a scene cut. Hey everybody. Thanks for watching this video again. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. I do hope you did learn something and have some fun. If you could do me a small little favor, could you please subscribe and follow this channel or these videos or whatever it is you do on the current social media website that you're looking at right now. It would really mean the world to me, and it'll help make more videos and grow this community. So we'll be able to do more videos, longer videos, better videos, or just I'll be able to keep making videos in general. So please do me a kindness and subscribe. You know, sometimes I'm sleeping in the middle of the night and I just wake up because I know somebody subscribed or followed. It just wakes me up and I get filled with joy. That's exactly what happens every single time. So you could do it as a nice favor to me, or you could troll me if you want to just wake me up in the middle of the night. Just subscribe, and then I'll just wake up. I promise that's what will happen. Also, if you look at the middle of the screen right now, you should see a QR code which you can scan in order to go to the website, which I think is also named somewhere at the bottom of this video. And it'll take you to my main website where you can just kind of like see all the videos I published and the services and tutorials and things that I offer and all that good stuff. And if you have a suggestion for clarifications or errata or just future videos that you want to see, please leave a comment. Or if you just want to say, hey, what's up? What's going on? You know, just send me a comment. Whatever. I also wake up for those in the middle of the night. I wake up in a cold sweat and I'm like, it would really mean the world to me. I would really appreciate it. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and enjoy the cool music as I fade into the darkness which is coming for us all.